Hey,
Hi, how are you?
good. How are you?
I'm great.
It sounds so believable.
I don't know. I'm feeling old for the first time in a long time. Like, I'm tired.
Uh-oh. Just from work or everything?
Yeah, I think it's everything. Work, school. I don't get run down very often, but I've been run down a little bit the past week or so.
Well, you had some sick children too, huh?
Yeah, I got another one sick now.
Uh-oh. Just like virus or?
Yeah, I don't think my wife and I were just talking. I don't think we've ever taken our kids to the doctor this many times and then say it's just viral. I mean, it's just no symptoms, no. Usually it's strep. We get strep really bad, but just been viral.
That's the worst because there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
All right. So do we want to start out with anybody having any questions for the group?
I'll just say, does everybody feel pretty good about where, as far as getting everything turned in TaskStream? And we were just talking earlier, Erica, before you came on about, how we've kind of been confused about it. But I think between Carrie and myself, we've kind of got it kind of figured out. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I was a little confused because I was trying to figure out. Now we compile it and let them see it before we turn it into TaskStream, and then turning it into TaskStream, correct?
You talking about the Absol?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you make it one big document.
Okay. So, but are we putting it on the Blackboard and then letting her know? I'm like,
I got confused about that too, but no, because Dr. Zions was asking for me to submit it to her, and what she wanted was me to email it to her so that she could look through it, and then I think she was going to look through it before she asked me to submit it to TaskStream, just in case she saw any places where I might need to make adjustments or anything. And so once I emailed it to her, she reviewed it. She told me then to go ahead and upload it into TaskStream for submission. So that's how it works.
Okay, perfect. Okay, because I was confused about that. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. That's the way. I don't know if Nick, you had any different directives.
No, I was exactly the same. I emailed everything to her. She looked over and said, "You're now ready to submit." Now I did turn in all 5 of the tasks on the Blackboard for the internship. Yeah. But as far as when I put it all together now, I just emailed it to her and she said, submit it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything else?
Willie, you doing okay?
I'm doing good. I'm dead on it, guys. I just submitted everything myself.
Awesome.
Good. All right. Well,
now, did you guys include the log, the intern log?
I did not include it in the Absol. I submitted it, like I saved it electronically, and I submitted it. I was just telling Carrie, if you go on the eFolio, where you've got all those different competencies on the left-hand side, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see internship log.
Okay.
And you just click on it down there and then upload your internship log there.
Okay. Perfect.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I haven't submitted that yet.
And you know what? I think I actually did mine. I think I actually submitted it twice. I think I did it there on the eFolio, And then, you know where you submit the APSL, like you click on, once you load TaskStream, you click on MELS Fall 2017, and it's that page where you have the APSL and the competency analysis, and I think you can load your internship log there as well.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
All right.
Well, and while
Don't take my word for it, though.
while we're on the phone, we also need to go ahead and figure out a time for us to meet for the scenario 2 or the case study 2. And I think we have to do that next week. Or we could, it's up to you guys. We could do it this week just so we can get out of the way, or we can do it next week. Is everyone with me to think that we also have next week to finish that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, that sounds good to me. You want to do it next Monday this time?
Either way, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that time works for me. I mean, if you don't, I mean, like I said, we can either do it next Monday, or we could probably try to slide it in like Thursday. If anybody's open, because I think we got 2 weeks to do it. However you want to do it, I'm good either way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah, anytime if we do it around 8 o'clock, I'm good with any date.
Erica, you got any preferences?
No, like I'm ready to go ahead and knock it out.
Yeah.
Gotcha. We'll just plan on doing it Monday at 8. You go with that?
That sounds good.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Who would like to be the Zoom master?
I think if we're going in order, I guess it'll be my turn, so I'll take it.
Okay, cool. All right, so Monday at 8. We'll do it that way. All right, so then if Erica and I were talking about this when we met last week, but we've kind of already, we talked about this during our whole class meeting, but he wants us to talk about the scenario 1 again in our groups. And this was the one about the Sunnyside Elementary School where the principal was moved. Is everybody good on the scenario? So can we just go into the discussion questions?
Sure.
So discussion question 1 says, how would you reintroduce vertical articulation and the concept of PLCs? Anybody?
Do you want me to read my statement or just elaborate on it?
No, I think we can just, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay, well, elaboration, I put down, how would you introduce vertical? I'll put down by taking the first step to improve Sunnyside Elementary School and community shortcomings, I would introduce my vision as a collaborative effort for all schools and community leaders to foster. During my 3rd year as a principal, my role as a leader, I would have been acceptable and understood by my staff, students, parents, and community. By supporting the needs of students, academic successes, and transforming student learning into an inspiring institution that is entrusted by all. That's my first paragraph that I wrote. And as an entrusted leader who listens to what teachers and community needs are, reintroducing vertical articulation and the concept of PLCs would encompass my core vision of faculty, staff, and parent leaders working together to continue upward momentum towards student academic achievement.
Yeah.
Despite many of the non-essential practices many teachers became weary of, introducing an action plan that supports professional development and student growth is essential to moving forward. By having several professional development meetings during each teacher planning period twice a month and required development leader training once a month will be the starting point for implementing an approved practice. That's what I wrote for that one.
Wow, that's awesome. You're a lot more detailed than me, Willie. That was good. You nailed that, dude.
And just question, do we have to write this stuff, or are we just supposed to discuss it?
I thought we were just discussing, like,
Okay.
I didn't see anywhere to write it.
Which
I just kind of made some
I wrote it
notes.
up.
But
I just wrote it up. And do you want me to send this up for grading? Because she wanted one person out of the group to send it forward.
sure.
I thought we were just doing the video.
Yeah.
But absolutely.
The video, and then at the bottom it asks that one member of the group submit the actual
Notes.
Scenario for grading. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'll take on that task and put everybody's name on it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else have anything for that one?
I think, so like what Willie said, I think it's important, like, to just have that shared vision and collaboration is key. But with the vertical articulation, I think, just having those open lines with the feeder schools and those transitions, what's working, what's not working, and just having the opinions of stakeholders. So, and just making sure everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
And then, but just, open lines with those feeder schools and what is working. So, like if it's math or something like that, what can we do? And that's if they're, moving through, is it something that we see that's consistent? And just trying to improve on certain things, and just mainly find out what's working, what's not working, and then just with PLCs, just finding that shared vision and collaboration, and then going from there.
Yeah. Because, and I think, committees it's a delicate issue with schools because, yes, it is time consuming, but at the same time, if you take away all committees, then you do get this idea of grade levels only seeing grade levels and not really working as a school staff, and I'm sure it's much,
right.
I work in an elementary school, so I can't even imagine what it's like in a high school where staff members probably know other staff members if they're not, on a continuous communication cycle with them. So I could definitely see where, like you were saying, Erica, like a math vertical alignment committee or a reading vertical alignment committee would be necessary to strengthen the core for the school.
Right.
Say, for example, elementary school, we need to make sure that we're consistent in what we're doing from kindergarten through 5th grade in the area of math or in the area of literacy. So having that vertical committee is definitely helpful. And then those committee members go back and take that information that they talk about with their vertical committee to their grade level committees. And then hopefully that would, you would see that from the grade levels, it would trickle down to each student.
Absolutely.
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 I think the only thing I would even add to it, I mean, that's spot on, is where it said, he's gained their trust. And I think that kind of gives him the, or her, gives the principal that ability to kind of take it wherever he wants, because once you gain the trust through communication, I think that kind of opens up the whole door, and gaining that trust is step one for that person. And
Okay. Are we ready to move on to question 2?
sure.
All right. It says, how do you encourage teachers to work together with one shared vision for the school?
I think one of the things you've got to give teachers to get them to buy into that is, number one, you've got to show them specifically how it relates to them, how it affects them, and or benefits them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're thinking about going with based on, number one, based on the feedback we got from you, the teachers. And if we go this route, this is kind of what we're looking at seeing, versus if we don't, we expect to see this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think if you communicate that to the teachers, then they're more likely to buy into your vision.
Right. That promotes buy-in from them. Because they have to feel as though it's important. And the only way that they're going to feel that it's important is if they're a part of creating the vision. Just for
Absolutely.
Like anyone.
Right. And I think, like, one of the things that the problem here was, like, you know, they were departmentalized. And, you know, to avoid that whole thing, there needs to be some type of common planning. So everybody has that vision, and then this is what we're going to do. You know, and I think a lot of times we stray away from what we need to do, and then we start building other things. And then if everybody has their thoughts on this certain area, and everybody has thoughts on this certain area, instead of just coming together for that common planning of that area of need. And I think that's forgotten about. And I see where they were talking about departmentalizing, but at Sunnyside. So I think just having that common vision, that planning of what's the necessity? What do we need to just get done, and then work from there.
Yeah.
I think when reading that, I mean, I just retired military, and the hardest thing for me to truly understand as being a teacher was the collaboration that I had amongst the different teachers in different departments. I teach high school, and I'm at Robson County, and the hardest thing for me to emphasize in any meeting is collaboration. They would not collaborate, and then those teachers with tenure or those seasoned teachers or veteran teachers that's there, they don't want to change. They comfortable with where things are, and what it is hurting we as new teachers that's coming in to the department, trying to bring different transitions or different innovative strategies to the forefront. The teachers don't care to even elaborate on it, and that's the hardest thing for me. And what I try to get them to convey is, regardless of how you feel or whatever differences that you may have, the students are the ones that are suffering. And I tend to remind them that, hey, we are all professionals. We need to put our differences aside, come to the forefront, let's collaborate, and bring innovative strategies to the forefront and try to make it better. That's the hardest thing for me, being a high school teacher.
Oh, yeah. I agree, Willie. I mean, and I think one thing that we've, you know, I've been in the high school for 14, almost 15 years, and you know, you hear that this is the next best thing, or this too shall pass. You know, you get those kind of things, and I think it's kind of like the old analogy, you know, how do you eat an elephant? Well, you eat it one bite at a time. You know, you can't change the elephant, and if you just take a little piece at a time. I'm not saying I know it all or end all by any means. Please don't take it that way. But I've experienced that as well, what you're talking about. And even this year, I stood up in front of my faculty and tried to give them, you know, some of this PLC stuff. And you could see the eyes rolling for those people with 20 years. You know, you could feel it. They didn't want no part of it. And I don't know. I'm a military guy as well, and I just have this direct way, and I'm like, you know, you can roll your eyes if you want to. I don't care. This is what's up.
And I remember Dr. Todd making a comment last week in our class Zoom conference about how, you know, no one likes change, and so anytime change is brought, you're going to have people who kind of you know, talk about it amongst themselves and have the meeting after the meeting, if you will, about, you know, everything that they disagree with. But over time, like you were saying, Nick, you know, a little at a time, if small changes are made, hopefully with time, you're able to see the difference. And then hopefully looking back and reflecting back, people are able to see that the small changes that were made for collaboration to occur actually worked for the better.
Yeah, so
Amen.
you have to look at those little positive changes that were made. And I think she also mentioned that, you know, one of those things where you do have the teachers who've been there for a long time. But if what they're doing is working, then, you know, then whatever they're doing that's working, then they can share that and, you know, sort of like have, you know, share and learn from each other. So what's working, you probably don't want to change it. So if they're not accepting, but if they are making a positive change in what you're trying to do, then you also, you know, you try to have them, you know, share it with, collaborate with the others. You know, what are you doing that's working? If it's working, that's great. Share with us. And so we can have that team empowerment and have those positive changes together, you know.
In my role, I work a lot with different teachers, and one of the most powerful things that I have found to work with, you know, bringing forth change into a school is having teachers observe peer teachers and like setting times to like to devote just for, okay, we're going into a class and we're looking for this specific thing or this type of teaching strategy or something like that. And that's brought about the type of change with our teachers. And it takes time because you have to build that trust. And the way in which we've done that at our school is we've had like, I would be the demonstrator first so that it was less threatening for teachers, you know, and they were observing and critiquing me. And then we moved it into, okay, now we're going to observe other teachers. And having like an accountability rubric, almost, you know, like what are the look fors that we're looking to see. If we're talking about like a style of teaching like guided math, okay, let's have a guided math rubric. And when we go in and when we observe teachers, let's have this rubric so that we know during guided math, these are the things that we should be able to see in action taking place. So that's kind of all. It's helped other teachers kind of come together and see the teaching styles from everyone so that they can use everyone for a resource instead of just being in their own world in their grade level.
Right. I like that. That's awesome.
Okay, I don't know. I haven't got a time limit thing saying that we're almost out of time, but just for the sake of that, let's go into number 3. It says, how do you ensure that the positive changes in your school makes are sustained after you are gone? I think this is the hardest question.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just said I think this was the hardest question to answer.
Well, to me, I think it's just when you say the sustained change, what kind of culture did you create and what kind of culture are you leaving?
Yeah.
Because if you create a culture where people care about each other, where people know that you care about them, and that the students are the center and the core of that culture, and you know, we've worked for those people. Somebody comes in and says, I'm the next greatest, bestest thing, and this is what we got to do, and blah, blah, blah. That person's going to get laughed out of the building. Somebody that comes in and says, hey, tell me what you think, you know what I'm saying, and works with people, you create that culture, that's what you leave.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's where my take is on that. It's kind of like, I don't know, I'm not going to go there. That's politics. But that's what I think.
Yeah.
Right. Can I read this and sum it up for you?
Sure.
Because we did on. Yep. I wrote down, as a principal, my ability to inspire and instill change will be carried on well after I leave an organization. I will inspire my colleagues to function in a collaborative effort to sustain academic excellence. During my 3 years at Sunnyside Elementary, I will have established a positive relationship within my school and surrounding community. My effective leadership would have been seen throughout my teachers' ability to lead and educate students under their care and responsibility. By creating an institution that is safe, caring, professional, and is focused on student learning throughout all departments, I remain successful when all members believe in their ability to inspire others. That's what I put, and that's dead on what you were saying.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can inspire change within any organization, I mean, it'll sustain that well after we're gone.
Yeah.
In order to break through that,
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
I agree with you 100%. And I think with that inspiring the change, I think delegation is, something that you have to consider as well. Because as a principal going in, I mean, there's so many different areas and hats that you have to wear. So you have to be able to find people that are going to be able to help you make those changes like you were talking about, Willie.
I think my whole thing as teaching high school and being around a lot of veteran teachers, I think the thing that they're lacking, especially in my institution, is the professionalism. If we understand that we're more than just teachers and we carry ourselves as professionals, within that, anything is acceptable, as long as we are there to make a difference for these students. And that's what I'm lacking at my school. I've been lacking that for the last 3 years, and I've been trying to see how to break through that mold.
Yeah.
And most of the teachers there are seasoned teachers, been there 15, 20 years. And when you talk about change, it's like you're hitting a brick wall.
Yeah.
And it's so sad when that happens. It's so sad. But I forget what assignment it was, but we were talking about those teachers that are in that 18 to 30 year mark have the chance to actually make the biggest difference.
Right.
If they don't settle in and sink in the mud and just waiting for the end. I've worked with some people in that late career status who just couldn't wait to learn something new, whether it was how to freaking take an app, a picture from your phone and upload it to, whatever it may be. And they have such an ability to inspire students more so than even younger students or younger teachers. But I was really surprised by that. I never thought of it like that, but it is true.
Yeah.
It says.
Yeah, one of those things. I think, I guess with just number 3, I said just encourage those positive relationships. Being able to continue on with positive relationships. I think that's the important thing, like all of you have said. And just get on the same page. Talk about those, determine those disadvantages and those advantages, and provide solutions. A lot of times we stray away from what's important and just provide those solutions. And praise your teachers. Not just praising the students, but praise your teachers. Let them know that they are, appreciate it. And everyone who put forth an effort with collaborating, this is, and that you show that team empowerment, and those instructional strengths and weaknesses.
Agreed.
You guys there?
Yeah.
Okay. Erica,
can you hear me?
Yeah. Erica, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a message just a second ago that said my internet connection was unstable. I don't know what that means. I hope it says it's recording, so we'll go with it. Okay. Anybody else want to add anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we're good.
Sounds good. Well, if no one else has anything, I think we have answered all of the discussion questions for scenario 1. And next week we'll be on scenario 2, right?
All right.
I will send out I'll send out the link for that probably on Sunday evening.
Okay. And I'm going to convert this and make a YouTube video for it, and then I will send that to you guys, and we can upload it to Blackboard.
All right.
Sound good?
Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, have a great evening, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye.